This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, you ever see Craig T. Nelson puke up a giant worm? I bet that shit didn't happen on Coach. It's Poltergeist II. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak, child.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, that's right. The listener request month is just chugging along. Here we are, Poltergeist II, also known as Poltergeist II, The Other Side from 1986, directed by Brian Gibson, who you may remember as the director of What's Love Got to Do With It, and previous episode, The Juror.
Also known as Poltergeist 2, a real movie, which is a nice change for listener request month.
Right,
Absolutely, man. This movie fucking stinks, but it's a movie. It's an actual dadgum movie.
I argue that, but fine. More of a movie than The Pest for sure.
The way
That was literally the bit, Chris Cabin. It's more than
I think what's the fucking Warriors of Virtue much more of a movie than this.
That is
absolutely not.
What are you smoking?
This is a bunch of scenes just fucking jammed together with the name Poltergeist 2 at the top.
Chris, you didn't find any moment scary? I particularly was frightened at the start of the film when this lion is roaring at us.
Yes, the very scary lion. No,
His
to me,
name is Amgem.
Mgem? Migum?
That's the name of the lion, MGM.
Ooh, there's a haunted line at the beginning of your movie, child.
There could be.
No, y'all, the lion's roaring from beyond the grave.
He is. He's a dead lion they filmed.
Yes.
Well, he's dead now.
Yeah, he was alive at the time, to be fair.
They filmed it, and then what happened? Thomas Edison electrocuted it to death or something.
Yeah, yeah, because it's they're making movies out there. We got another. We're gonna fry some animals next.
It's policy. Mr. Mayor started this policy. We keep a lion in a very small cage for the entirety of its life and record a new one every 10 years.
Wouldn't shock me if that was the actual policy at MGM. Who knows?
Yes, even when I'm dead, we kill the lion.
Of course, this is the sequel to the smash Tobe Hooper directed and Steven Spielberg interfered with Poltergeist film.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what, Steven Spielberg, just let Toby do his thing, man. Get the fuck out of here. Thanks for tricking George Lucas into freely licensing all that Star Wars shit in the first movie.
God, that first movie's got so much Star Wars stuff. One thing particularly stood out to me was the C-3PO light switch. And we're in that end of that movie where everything's happening in the kid's room and people are framed at the doorway watching and freaking out. And I just keep watching C-3PO on the wall.
It's distracting as fuck.
Toby, I don't want to tell you your business. You're the horror guy. I'm just, a billionaire. I think this room would be a little scarier with a C-3PO light switch. Think about it, Toby.
Oh, master, you're so good at turning me on.
Oh, thank the maker, indeed.
Oh, dude. This oil bath is going to feel so good.
Yeah, dude. Right when it hits C-3PO's fucking metal nuts, he says that. Anyway, Poltergeist.
Sure.
Deuce. Poltergeist Deuce. Before we get off on a rant here, Steve, I think this was requested by someone, and we do have a phone call here lined up.
We're all going to hear it together.
We're going to listen. We're in real time here. Let's see. This is how many requests did we get for Poltergeist 2? Just out of curiosity.
1.
Yeah.
Wow. This
He
person.
made it.
Wow. Let's listen here. But this person needs to fucking enter the lottery ASAP.
Hello, gentlemen. I'm Geraldine Roberts from Birmingham, Alabama. And I would like to request a movie this March, and I am shocked that you guys have not covered Poltergeist II, The Other Side. I mean, come on. This movie has everything. A flying chainsaw, an evil preacher, a vomit monster. It's got clairvoyance, cultists, shamans, zombies, killer braces. It's got Native American mysticism for no reason. And best of all, gentlemen, it's got Craig P. Nelson deep-throating a bottle of tequila. It's got so much and so little at the same time. It's Poltergeist II, The Other Side. I'm Geraldine Roberts from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'll see you on the other side.
Oh,
That
I like
is
wow.
wow.
Correspondent. I
Yeah,
like
was he at a desk tapping cards when he was doing that?
That's the best fucking call we've ever had.
Back to you in the studio.
Good for you, Gary Dean. I would also not give out your whole fucking name and address there, Gary Dean.
You know what? That's up to them. You know, we can't stop them if they want to, you know, get I don't know what would happen to them. What would happen to them, Steve?
This is Gary Dean Roberts in Birmingham, Alabama, 1614 Robin Hood Way. You just got to go past the Exxon station, make a left, and I leave my door
Hey,
open.
Roberts! Bang.
And then the podcast assassins will come out of the
They are.
woodwork.
They will.
Now, you might think that the key rock is actually the third one from my entrance. It's actually the fifth one. That's one you're going to turn over and find. And then, like, say it from the other side.
Gentlemen, I'll be a ghost by the time this episode comes out. Gary Dean Roberts, see you on the other side.
Hey, and real quick, in case you get to my house to murder me and I'm not home, this is my work address. And I may also be visiting my ill mother, and this is where she lives.
I mean, we pretty much do this ourselves, and we haven't been killed. I think he's going to be okay.
I think it'll be just fine.
The vault with the gun in it is actually in the second bedroom, and the code is 23789.
This is all a plot to become a ghost.
Oh, maybe, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
Suicide by Podcast.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, as Gare mentioned, you know, we start in the desert. Will Sampson, of course, from he played Chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, is, you know, out and about on this crazy, is it a butte? This very tall, I don't know what they're on here. It's very cool. This desert butte, maybe. Has a little bit of a vision here. There's a guy who appears next to a fire. He's doing a chant. He sort of gives Will Sampson's character like some powers to go, you know, sort of like stocks up on energies and powers and things to go help assist in the ghosting.
There's a great he has a great look one time. I think so. He's there. The guy shows up, and then like there's some early magic, like the first move, and then he kind of gives a, was that it? Kind of look like, so are we? So are we good here? Or?
So
I hiked all the way up this butte for this.
This other Grampy there, that guy's a ghost, huh?
Yeah, he's got to be a ghost.
He disappears,
Grampy.
right?
He
Or-
does.
Yeah.
Either that or like he's so messed up. Will Sampson. Like it's just like you've been there, right? Like a guy is around and then he's just kind
Absolutely.
of gone. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what happened to Jerry? Oh, he left.
Andrew, he's been gone for 20 minutes. Oh,
I thought he was in the bathroom. Shit.
Yeah, he
didn't
climbed
even
that
say
whole rock.
goodbye.
He climbed that whole rock without any water. He's just like, yeah, there was a ghost. And I got power. Oh, I'm gonna die.
There's some cool matte paintings around this area.
Should say in the opening credits here, just to point out a nice, like, to say something positive about this bad movie. Jerry Goldsmith returned to do the score, and I like the music in this movie, I have to say.
I am surprised so many people did return. I guess it's a paycheck, but I feel like this series would have been better as an anthology type of thing. Give us a different haunting every movie.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. I like the idea of having one idea rather than 27.
I mean, that's the thing. This movie is just like whatever's going to stick because, like, we go in a new route, the Native American route. It's not in the first movie specifically. And then, well, I love it that for the first movie where, like, they're just standing at a graveyard and, like, the guy who did the Pathmark commercials locally was just like, well, we did it before. We dug these fuckers up. We'll just move them back another 20 feet. Just keep moving them back.
They won't mind none.
Yeah,
I mean, which is true.
Yeah, well, they're not. Apparently, they will.
I mean,
well,
I guess it turns out they got pissed off about it.
They don't even move the bodies in that first one, you know? They just moved the headstones to a new location, which is...
Right, that's right. And then they built the
Yeah.
house on top. That's got to be part of the insult, right? It's like, you took my fucking name tag and moved it.
Yes. Now-
I don't care if you move me, but like if you're gonna just move the headstone, that's some lazy shit, contractors.
I was expecting in this movie to them like, oh, we're going to give people like a proper burial or move them to that actual cemetery, which exists that just has headstones, apparently, we're told. And they don't. They just leave everyone under this ghost town.
Well, no. Here's my question. That's a great, because that's kind of the next movement. The first like 12 minutes are silent. Will Sampson goes. He sees Zelda Rubinstein. He goes to whatever Costa Verde or whatever the hell this complex is, and they go deeper. So because I think like there were ghosts in the pool, like literal ghosts popping up. I think skeletons popping up. I think this is like basically skeletons on top of skeletons, on like 3 layers of skeletons.
Right, yeah. Apparently,
I think so. It's a real skeleton sandwich.
Exactly.
a secret tomb below what would then be the cemetery. It's kind of interesting ground we get here with this Kane character being basically, I guess, Joseph Smith.
Something like that.
Yeah, like a cross between like Joseph Smith and Jim Jones, I guess.
Yeah.
I got
Smith was the Mormon guy?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, good. Yeah, I
Like
thought maybe I was talking about Pocahontas's dude.
like Meek from Meek's Cutoff is also what I kind of got a feeling for it. Like, 'cause
Yes,
he's just,
exactly.
Like he just like is leading this band of people and they all starve to death.
Which is cool, actually.
Yeah,
It's
that's
kind of-
good.
And I think this guy, Julian Beck, who plays Kane, is good. He had stomach cancer and died shortly thereafter, and that was definitely part of his audition process. He was like, wow, I never got a big role like this in my life. It's so crazy. Well, and I'm sick. And you sure it's okay that I'm sick? Oh, it's very okay that you're sick. It's excellent.
We're gonna
Ooh.
save so much money in the makeup department because this guy will be dying on our camera.
You know, I've been talking to all the other fellas who are auditioning for the role. They all have cancer too. It's fun. Is that's just a coincidence, you say?
Yeah, he attended the premiere of this film as a ghost.
Oh man,
He
yeah, he
also-
died before it came out.
He also at that point was saying at the door, "Let me in, let me in."
Oh man, it's raining out here outside the premiere.
Oh boy,
His
why is
voice.
it my coat getting wet?
It's so great.
We should talk about the Poltergeist Curse, right? This is part. He's definitely part of it.
He's definitely part of it, right? The big famous thing. All
Is he?
3 of these movies in the original franchise trilogy here are
But
all
he
part
knew-
of the.
He knew he was
Huh?
going to die, though, right?
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the kids.
Yeah. But the whole thing like is from the first movie. Again, cutting corners here, and I really hope this wasn't another Spielberg tip to old Toby here, but instead of prop skeletons, they used fucking real skeletons for the pool scene and all that
Really?
shit. It's real dead bodies, dude.
How do you acquire such a thing?
I think you steal it from a medical college.
That's crazy, man. And I think you're right. I think here's the thing. Spielberg, fool me twice. He definitely was on the phone with Landis during the Twilight Zone movie. Like, oh, come on, John. It's fine. It's just a night shoot. I do those all the time.
I
like the
think you're
master-
right, dude.
Yeah, he's like the mastermind behind every cinematic mishap.
Well, you know what it is, though? I think he's trying to, like, under the guise of being helpful, take out all his contemporaries.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
I'll be the only one to direct the movies because they'll all be in jail.
It's just
Although
a
Landis didn't go to jail, but you know.
It's just I'm
Should've.
imagining just that at the end of all this, it's a sword fight between De Palma and Spielberg. I knew
Oh,
you were
sure.
bad from the beginning, Steven. I should have struck you down then.
It's like Highlander if the guys couldn't pick up swords all the way.
Why are these Scottish swords so heavy?
Oh, god damn it!
You have a fencing sword around here, Brian?
But yeah, I mean, so they attribute the curse starting with that, and you know, Shortly after the first movie was completed, actress Dominique Dunn was murdered in a domestic violence situation. And then this movie decides to really poorly handle that whole thing with that character. And then, yeah, with this movie, that dude, of course, had cancer and then died shortly after. Will Sampson died having open heart surgery shortly after this movie. Then in the third movie, right, Heather O'Rourke died tragically before they could finish it. Zelda Rubinstein had to leave the shoot for weeks on end because her mother died during it. I mean, all of these crazy stories because Steven Spielberg told Tobe Hooper to use real skeletons, I think.
The franchise is cursed, but the money ain't.
Ooh, these haunted checks keep clearing, child.
It can't be blood money if they're already dead.
Oh my God.
Too bad I can't see any ghosts over these fat stacks.
You know, they don't tell you that you get a little token with each soul you eat. I got all these tokens.
Scare me all you want, ghost. I'm sleeping nice and deep on this big pile of money.
I hope you can find me in my second home, you ghost bitch. 'Cause I bought another house.
Oh shit, ghost. Here you are following me to the docks, but can you cross over and stand on water? 'Cause I'm getting on my big yacht I just bought, y'all.
I also bought myself a replicant Zelda to live in the other house in case you try to get me.
Now this is what I want.
Shit.
A movie about someone so paranoid about being got by ghosts, they set up like doppelgangers and shit.
Dude, do you think a ghost could tell if there was like a robot or like a Saddam Hussein-esque dupe in the house
I
instead?
think they should be able to, right? Because now ghosts, they're like, let's say, I guess the soul of the human husk that we're in.
Yeah, that's right.
So shouldn't
the
they-
skin suit, yeah.
They should immediately identify with other souls instead of just your fat, human body.
Yeah, I would
Right.
think so too. I think they would be able to, but a clone, quick question, what if you got a clone?
Oh, that's a great question. And if you get a clone, let's say you clone me and and the clone dies, does that clone have a ghost? And then do I have a ghost? And we have two ghosts of me? Because this is a great idea.
Clone
Ooh,
ghost.
Ghost army, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they pitched all this as part of the plot of Poltergeist 2, and they only cut out a little bit.
They used most of it.
Well, we should say this movie, I mean, it's a total hatchet job by the studio. It comes in at like 90 minutes almost exactly. Apparently, the original cut was 2 hours and 21 minutes. Can you imagine watching this movie for almost double the time?
I think you could split the difference, get to $1.45, and this movie would at least make some sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But I wonder if that was like an assembly cut number or just like what did somebody actually come into the studio and be like, yeah, I got Poltergeist 2 for you. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I think everybody's going to rush to the theater to see this one. Like,
Yeah,
I
guess-
don't believe that. I have a hard time believing that.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, look, the first movie is pretty. It's right up. It's 2 hours. It's right there. It's an hour and 54 minutes. Like, I could see it being a thing where it's like the sequel's more loaded because it's the sequel, so you got to do more crazy shit or whatever. I could see that easily going to 220.
I feel like we were cutting movies down in sequels anyway. Like anytime a sequel comes in, they're like, we want it a little shorter than the last one.
If it's a bad sequel, dude,
and this is that.
Yeah.
I think the pacing is kind of a problem in this movie. It feels very slow. So I feel like you tack on that extra like 20 something or what 30 minutes, then I think you're really just never leaving the station.
Well, that's what I mean by this not really feeling like a movie, is because like the whole middle of it is the mysticism stuff. Then it switches into all kinds of different shit.
It really does.
And like I'm just like, where am I? Am I supposed to care about any of this? And I can't. There's no way I can.
So Will Sampson meets up with Zelda Rubinstein. Yet they find a cave.
I found the core. There's a presence. Like this is
core.
a weird. Here's the thing, right? Ghost core. Yeah. I think what I thought. the first time I saw this movie, this wasn't the first time I saw it, but with her like being at the site of the house from the first movie, and then Will Sampson is coming in, I was like, oh, is this like she actually has like a team of paranormal something or other, and like Will Sampson's her co-worker, and it's like we've been chasing this spirit through the desert or whatever. And honestly, might be a more interesting turn for the movie.
It would
Absolutely.
be if she was part of a guild, that'd be great, because like she would be calling Max von Sydow and be like, "Oh no, I'm not interested. In the suburbs, no. The Middle East is where I will go. Thank you very much."
Oh, Father Marin himself could have been in this movie, you say?
He's part of the guild, I think.
Got it.
Well,
okay.
They lose the other lady, the drunk from the first movie, who has her team of ghost catchers there.
Yeah.
She's just not even
right.
mentioned at all.
Should have got Lynn Shay.
It was an interesting turn in that movie, the first one, because those guys were kind of phony in a way.
Yes.
And then they had to deal with a real thing, kind of fish out of water thing. But she's like, what's her character? Zelda Rubinstein. What's her character name again?
Tangina?
Tangina is so like ingrained in it that it's a different level of a player here.
Right. Do we know also how much time is supposed to be from the first movie to this one?
Not too much, because they still haven't figured out their living situation at the
I think
start.
maybe around a year, possibly. Did I make that up?
Okay.
Maybe I made that up.
Yeah. I think you're right, because I think they have a phone call with the mortgage people, and they're like, "What do you mean they're just telling us the house just disappeared, and that they're not going to give us our money back?"
Oh, right. all the thrilling
come back.
The thrilling scenes of Craig T. Nelson dealing with the insurance company.
Yes,
but the reason I was asking is because, so a year makes sense actually for this to happen, because when Will Sampson pulls into the neighborhood, it is like this bombed out, like all these for sale signs. Everybody's getting the fuck out of this neighborhood because the one house disappeared. And it's something they never really address, like that other people are aware of what went down, but like clearly people are evacuating Cuesta Verde.
Yeah, at the end of the first movie, people see what is happening, and people are also kind of fleeing the town.
Yeah, we miss the media blitz that happens after this, where everybody's talking about the fucking house that disappeared, and like that's what doesn't make sense about the insurance. Of course, they're going to pay out, or they're going to be the biggest news story of the year.
Hush money is what you're going to get.
It's interesting that like Craig T. Nelson in that movie is working for the guy that set up the fucking town, and then he still got this fucking anchor of a mortgage around his neck, despite being one of the people selling these evil houses. It's
weird.
He got a shaft on this.
It's a year out. There's still a hard copy fucking reporter on your front lawn every day.
Yeah, absolutely there is. Well, that'd be a better sequel, actually. You get like one of the other people in this town, like maybe the kid grabbed a piece of like of debris as they moved out, and now we got a new haunted house kind of a thing.
Yep, that's right.
It's kind of vaguely related to the first one.
A piece from the site, and that's all you need. Yep,
Right.
You're exactly right. Took one of them dumbass haunted toys or some shit that was left behind. Will Sampson has a really great line delivery right here too, because they go below and they see all the skeletons everywhere, and he just goes to Tangina and he's like, "Where's the family now?" Like, these people are not out of the woods. Where the fuck did you send them? We got to find them right now.
Brian, I'm just looking at this dummy budget. How much are you spending on fake skeletons? Let me let you in on a little secret here. Real skeletons.
Look, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get you in contact with my corpse guy. You're going to love this guy. You know what? He only eats rice. That's it. But he's an interesting character, and he can get you corpses and skeletons in just like that.
Look, here's the thing, okay? Every incident of a skeleton in an Indiana Jones movie, real corpse. It's a real deal. And I'm saving Paramount Pictures tons of money.
Every time he punched a guy, they died. It's all real. It's a real movie. We ran over people with those trucks.
You ever see the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark? I melted people with a flamethrower to get that effect.
I had to have that guy swallow a stick of dynamite and his head exploded.
It's just a lot cheaper that way.
I made Jaws. What are they going to do? Say no to me? Of course not. I get to melt a few people, get to explode a few people, shoot a bunch of people.
Flamethrower rentals much cheaper than all that costly claymation.
And I'm going to tell you something. My corpse guy, I pay him in used underwear. He's happy as a clam.
Oh man, this guy is a real sick ticket, dude.
We cut to the family, and I guess they're up the road ish. They're close enough in driving distance at Grandma's house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you get a look at what we're letting this little kid do here.
Oh,
Letting her make this disgusting sandwich.
Oh,
what was in this
like, there's, like,
sandwich again?
I don't know. There's like M&Ms or shit in it. I don't like peanut
marshmallows
butter
or
and
something.
candy.
Yeah.
Fucking
Get this-
kids. What
God
are we
damn it.
doing? What
I
the?
mean-
Stop it. Stop having them.
Just if I had just left the house where my child had been possessed by
Yeah.
an otherworldly demon and then watched the house that she lived in ate by the air,
Yeah.
I might be like, yeah, eat your M&Ms and your fucking peanut butter and your goddamn
What? No,
marshmallows too. Go ahead and eat whatever the fuck you like for the next at least 3 years.
I would say you're still possessed because just no human being would eat something like this.
I agree with Chris, and my question is, how much therapy is this little girl getting? If it's under 6 hours a week, it seems a bit risky.
In
It just-
1986, none.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's getting the junk food sandwich. She's not getting therapy. The junk food sandwich is the therapy.
She was in an astral plane for like days, dude. You've got to get somebody to look at this girl.
No, it was the junk food sandwich, and then she gets to always, whenever she wants, she can make a soda with all the different kinds of sodas.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I love doing that.
Yeah,
Tastes
I
like
guess-
shit every time.
The X-Files should be like dissecting her or something, right?
Oh yeah, the cigarette smoking man will be chasing after this girl. There's no doubt about it. Oh, that's actually a way to go too, right?
Yeah.
Government agency wants to see what she saw, kind of a situation there.
Yeah. And then the ghosts help spring her from prison, and she thinks that they're kind of cool now, and then it turns out they're not.
Yeah, I'm of the mind that all this stuff was actually in the 2 hour and 20-minute cut. It doesn't explain anything more of what happens in this movie. It's just more shit that doesn't make any sense.
I guarantee we probably had more stuff with Kane in that longer cut.
Which
Yeah,
I'm into.
the big like battle at the end. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like the subtitle of this movie is The Other Side. They are on the other side for less than 5 minutes in this movie.
Yeah, I need a lot more other side.
Totally.
They're fighting
Too
that
much-
big
too much of
fucking
this side.
monster.
and the other
Very
side,
too much of this side, yes.
and the other side isn't like as like I was thinking of a movie clearly indebted to the Poltergeist movie is Insidious. And when
yes.
when he goes to the other side in the first one, I'm like, that is a really wild scene.
Yes.
And like
it
this
goes-
scene, it's just like it happens and then they fight and then it's over. It's like there's no
Yeah.
atmosphere to it really.
Yeah, and I expected more from the whole buildup of the native mysticism in this movie. I mean, jumping to the end real quick, he just throws a lance in there.
That's
And that's kind of like the extent of it. And like, well, I guess he knew how to go through the fire. We'll get there, but like, I feel like there was such a buildup.
yes.
We're sidelining Zelda Rubinstein here, and then building this guy up to do not much of anything.
She also apparently had a big confrontation with Kane towards the end-ish of the movie that they also cut, and she was apparently furious because she was like really proud of the acting that she did in those scenes specifically. And it's like 2 seconds in this movie of like, it's when she's making JoBeth Williams look at those photographs, and then he walks by outside but doesn't stop, doesn't say anything to them, and that's the end of it. That was actually a much longer scene where she goes outside like, you get the fuck out of here now. You understand what I'm saying, child? You get to stepping, you weird pastor-looking motherfucker. Get out of here.
She was right. This is good acting.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for Jimmy Carter, and I don't like you.
Oh boy, that girl from The Wizard of Oz is yelling at me.
He really does have that peanut farmer accent.
He does. He sounds exactly like him.
Well, the weird thing is this is like it's not a real voice what we're listening to. It's a combination of the actor
No.
who's who was so weak
No.
that it was like, you kind of sound like, eh. And then another guy who recorded all the lines, he's credited on IMDb as just doing the voice of Kane, and they combined the two of them to make that voice.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
creepy.
we're dealing with here. Yeah, it's fucking weird,
Very weird.
but that's what
I mean,
they had to do.
I guess it ultimately works towards the movie's benefit because like it is so disorienting sometimes.
He's good. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a chilling presence. We should say, because it's almost been a half hour, let's talk about Craig T. Nelson's mullet a little bit here.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Is this a full? It's not like a full mullet. This is just like a dude hasn't gotten a haircut in a while. A little shagadelic.
This is
The casual mullet, I would say.
Yeah, it's more of a unintentional look. My fucking house imploded by itself last year, and I haven't had time to go to the barber.
It's kind of what I'm rocking right now, honestly, because
Yeah.
it's just like,
Is it?
No, I mean, it's not that shaggy, but I mean, like, like it's been a long time for a haircut. My house didn't implode, but the world did. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of great, dude, because it's like, I could see Craig T. Nelson rocking this haircut at like a pool party.
mhm.
If he was like grilling up some burgers in a Hawaiian shirt, like, hey, Andrew,
yeah.
come and get it. And I'd be like, right there, Craig T. Nelson, hang on a second. And he has that haircut.
Yeah, if this is all that he is done, like if this is all the effects of the poltergeist incident with his house imploding and everything, he's actually doing pretty good, I would say.
Yeah.
Like if I
yeah.
had been through that, I would look more like that guy who's hanging out in the convenience store in Ghost World. Like I would just
he
be
does.
like I would be a complete maniac, and I would be eating nothing but like Cheetos. I'd be crazy.
Well, I mean, there is a little bit of this in the first movie, but it's clearly stepped up here. I mean, he's drinking through this entire movie.
Oh boy,
For the most
Yeah.
part. I mean,
It's nice.
Budweiser all over this movie. Like when they go to the diner, like after the first like haunting of the movie, we're told it's 4:30 in the morning. Absolutely, Craig T. Nelson's got a beer cracked at that table.
Well,
Sure.
if ghosts start like creeping back into my life, I'm going right to that bottle. You
no,
can't-
I'm not
yeah.
judging. I'm literally drinking right now. I'm not
You can't-
judging.
Yeah, you cannot scare me if I'm drunk to the point where I think things are funny or I'm blacked out.
exactly.
Do your
Now, here's
worst, Cade. Go, 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 go.
You're gonna die in there. Wake up, wake up right now. You're gonna die in there. Oh, come on. You're putting on the radio? That's ridiculous. That's goddamn ridiculous.
By the way, I love the vacuum. He's like checking out. And he's going to become a door-to-door vacuum salesman now.
Yeah, that is your classic sequel changing profession thing, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, but it's like a pathetic profession, though. So I guess it checks out.
But I also get a little bit of the Gremlins thing, like he's fidgeting with things.
Yeah.
Like the dad from Gremlins. Like that is what I got from that.
It's
But
just
he
weird.
says something about like, how am I supposed to sell these suck vac 5000s if I can't even get it to, because he's trying to like fiddle with it, and then like
And then
yeah,
there's
electricity sparks all over it.
And
He
then
says
there's, like-
something about how am I supposed to sell these?
And how does this not come back as like a haunted item later in the film?
well, it kind of
Yep.
it doesn't really, but it does. Like there's a scene where he tries to use it, and it just like bangs into a bunch of stuff and like wrecks the house.
Oh, okay.
I
And
guess
like
that's sort of something.
that, I guess what's supposed to be, but like
I think-
technology is kind of like haunted. I don't
Mhm.
know.
I think I was checking my watch at that scene.
Well, so, yeah, him and JoBeth Williams are like kind of going to bed, reminiscent of their last bedroom scene in the first movie. Although she's not
Yeah.
smoking weed, big
Yep,
problem.
big
Yeah.
big problem.
Well, I guess
big
if you're in your
problem.
mom's house, you got to watch it with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's actually true. Grandma's gonna have a fit.
A year out from Poltergeist, I'd be probably moving on to pills too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I do appreciate that first film saying like, yes, they're adults, they're living the suburban life, but of course they have a little J in the nightstand. Don't worry about it.
Yep,
Mhm.
it's a nice like. See, you didn't have to throw it all away. You can
Yeah,
ride the line there.
Exactly, a little realism, folks.
Diane, I smell. Is it a dead concert up there or what?
You're a psychic. Why don't you fucking tell me?
Well, we should. Yeah, that's the one thing, because we are throwing every. There's this scene where it's the grandmother and Carol Ann, and she kind of goes through and she's like, "Do you see things? Do you know things sometimes? This, that, and the other
Doc.
thing." And yeah, exactly. She's like, yeah, I just know things sometimes. And Stephen King's lawyers knew things sometimes too. And they're like, what the fuck?
Dude, they had like, they're watching this movie. There's like, all right, dial 555-487. And then once they say it, hit 9. If they get into legal territory, hit 9, call the number. We are suing these people.
I think this is the Three Stooges legal theory. I think, like, because you ripped off so many people in this movie, if all of them tried to sue you at once, they'd get so much little back, it wouldn't matter, so they're not going to do it.
I like this idea. Yes, everyone.
It's a real, like,
trying to
try
get through the door at the same time.
Oh, yeah, John Carpenter, you think you're coming for me? Yeah, okay. We'll see how much you get back.
It's well, it's a real shinning situation for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I mean, they're at a table. It's an elderly person talking to a child about like powers that they also had and things they used to. And I'm like, man, if I was Stephen King, I'd be so pissed right now watching this movie.
Well, he was too high on fucking coke. It was 1986, dude. That guy was on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's true.
Also, this is all like the one child's fault for looking so freaking creepy, right? Like if you just have like good vibes, I think ghosts would be like, all right, that's cool. Like I'm moving on.
Yeah, at this point,
Ooh.
Stephen King is Al Pacino at the end of Scarface, except for there's nobody attacking the house.
That's how he wrote Maximum Overdrive, I think.
Yeah, that's his process.
Say hello to a new chapter.
Yeah, and then he fell into the pool.
Oh, everybody's getting ready for the It Clown. Say goodbye to the It Clown.
The It Clown.
I forgot the name. Well, Pennywise.
It's Pennywise.
Sorry.
Pennywise.
I mean,
What's funny is I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, it's It the Clown." I'm like, "Oh, that's not right."
that's not correct.
Doesn't it feel like it should have been though? Like,
Yeah.
that just
Sure,
would've
yes.
made-
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a weird scene where like JoBeth Williams in the middle of this all is like, well, you know, why don't we like go shopping? So they go to this mini mall. And this is some real 1986, like, hey, kids, are you keeping up? You better be. Like, losing kids in a mall thing. I couldn't believe this, especially after you've just had this crazy haunting. Like, I'm putting these kids on leashes, man.
This girl was again in fucking in another plane for days, and now you're just like, Carol Ann, keep up or lose it.
And of course, what happens here, this is where creepy Kane comes in, and we sort of see immediately that this dude is a ghost, but he's also like able to present at the mall like an actual person and like touch people, so it's kind of weird. And he's just like, oh, hey, are you lost, sweetheart? And like, you got to start screaming right there, kid.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to start screaming.
Yeah. You know, the first movie is scarier because you don't see a personification, I think.
Yeah, I buy that.
yeah.
I know it's not like
I
a
totally
scary
think so.
movie, but it's like more like the mystery is what was appealing about it. But anyway.
Yeah.
Also, anybody dressed like that, I need to see them in a bunch. If I see a solo person with that kind of garb out, I'm running, no matter what. But if it's a group, I understand. Maybe they're Quakers or something. I don't understand it. But one person alone, absolute horror.
But the movie also doesn't really let you know if the public at large can see him or if it's just the family.
Yeah.
Because like Carol Ann talks to him, of course, and he's like holding her hand at one point, singing her a weird Jesus song. And JoBeth Williams and the son also see him. But there's definitely also parts where like people are literally walking through this guy like fucking Vincent Schiavelli in Ghost.
And this is where you need to do like an eerie check-in. And especially if you've been through what you've been through. Because like, she's like, oh my God, thank you, sir. Nice talking to you. Talk to you later. You gotta be like, Caroline, he was a weird ghost person, right? Like, that's it. This is a eerie situation, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You saw people walk through him.
The creep factor there was making the hair on the back of my neck stand up. That's a ghost, right? That we were just talking to. And also JoBeth Williams, like not at all suspicious of this guy. She's like, oh, thank you for finding my kid. What the fuck? No, like take your hands off her. Stop singing your Bringing in the Sheep song or whatever the shit that was. Get away from my kid, you ghost.
Oh, say. "Oh, say, do you want to go to Walden Books and look at the Berenstein Bears with me?"
Thumb through the periodicals with me, huh?
Oh, I got myself a hot date tonight.
Let's go. Let's go get you an Orange Julius.
It's kind of like orange juice. They put a little milk in it and then a bunch of ice.
I appreciate that this guy's a Christian weirdo, and I guess he had this whole cult or whatever. But the fact that you become a Christian weirdo, and suddenly, eventually, that leads you to becoming the beast. Like apparently, the devil is at play with this guy.
Yeah, we're throwing the beast around here, and I mean that's Are we referencing the big guy?
I think the idea is I guess he's so corrupted that now it's like you're kind of doing the devil's business. I don't know. The beast is mentioned once in the first film as well.
You're supposed I think you're supposed to, when she talks about it, you're supposed to believe it's the devil, but then he turns into an actual beast at the end of this movie that looks like garbage.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Then you're like, okay, so then okay, I don't care anymore. You took all the menace out of that early part of her saying beast.
So he's just a demon, I guess. Maybe just an
Yeah.
underling in hell. Well, not hell yet, just purgatory.
Well, I do love the fact that he's this religious nut and that he hangs out at the mall. His ghost is just hanging out at the mall.
This is a guy, we're told that this dude dies in the early 19th century or something, right? I need this guy to be walking around this mall like fucking Socrates in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He's got to be looking around my God, look at all the stores.
Oh, Ma, would you see that? Would you see that Mrs. Fields has a cookie stand in this place now? I remember Mrs. Fields. I watched her perish before my very eyes.
She never made any cookies back then.
No. She just starved to death, and now she got cookies.
My word of Spencer's Gifts. Look at that. Ooh, hooly doodly.
Now, would you kids like a giant pretzel covered in cinnamon?
I wish he was just a mall ghost. That's a better Poltergeist 2 mall ghost. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Look at that. A bookstore only for adults for some reason.
It's the 80s. The malls were all the rage, and it would be such a severe detriment to the businesses there, and the mall owner would be like, what is going on after night? It'd be something.
My word, you see that they're selling Italian food here. Italian food right next to hot dogs.
Oh, hey, child, don't worry about it. Here I am. It's me and my team coming in to bust some ghosts and do a little shopping, y'all.
Hold on. Is that a Panda Express? Is that a bear train? Is that a bear train? Panda Express?
Is this a zoo?
I would like to book passage to the bear country, please.
I'm trying to get my ticket at the old Panda Express.
Man, we need a haunted mall movie.
Here's the title, Murder on the Panda Express.
Yes. Or maybe also if it was a child ghost, it could be a kid in King Arthur's food court or something like that. I don't know.
I would love it.
Could
Oh,
figure that out.
man. You got floating mozzarella sticks or something?
Ooh, I'd be running around trying to catch those like a kid chasing a balloon.
Oh my! McDonald's, they let the Irish in here.
He's horrified at what the country's become.
So, the grandmother has a thing with Diane too, where she's like, look, you're not really talking about this at all. JoBeth Williams' character here admits that she doesn't remember a lot of the events from the first film. And she's just kind of like, I want to move on, sort of a thing.
And she's also neglecting her quote unquote psychic gift as well. And
yeah. Just a whole family of psychics, man. It's pretty dumb.
All of a sudden, she forgot she was psychic in the last movie. It's weird.
Oh, really? Weird.
Yeah, she just totally forgot that her mom was psychic and all this other paranormal stuff is going on, which is growing up. Yeah, it's weird.
The grandmother isn't in the first movie, right?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
not that I remember.
It's been a while. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it before this. Well, the grandmother's really not in this movie much either because she eats shit right here. There's a scene where like everyone's asleep and Carol Ann's like walking around like making sure everybody's asleep, and like she gets into the grandmother's room and you're just like, yeah, that lady's dead. And then like
Carol Ann gives her the kiss of death. She literally goes up to her cheek and kisses her, and then she dies.
Now, does she swallow her soul there? Is that the idea?
I think so. I think that's it, Eric.
Well,
the soul goes into the phone, right? Because the little kid phone calls.
This fucking shit. Come on.
Well, that's the other thing too, because later on, because the phone is haunted by not only her, Kane gets in there as well. This little thing, and
Call waiting. Thankfully, she has it.
hello. Oh wait, Grandma, hold on. I'm getting a beep. You're gonna fucking die. I'm going back to Grandma.
Can we mention that this daughter is, first of all, they really neglect her in the first movie. The older daughter, they barely even get her out of the fucking the town that's exploding, and then here she's just not mentioned whatsoever, erased from existence.
Yeah.
And again, another bad thing where like the original script, there was a scene where there was just a passing reference to like the character was at college, and then they just decided not to film it, and then just decided after Dominique Dunn was murdered, you know, they were also like, well, we're not going to like recast it or anything like that. Like the character will just pretend it doesn't exist. But like it just takes 2 seconds. Craig T. Nelson's pontificating about whatever. And it's just like, and with so-and-so off at school, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
Do that legwork, movie.
When they go to the diner, he should call her to make sure everything's okay in, you know, Amherst or wherever she is, you know, and like just fucking throw it in there and then throw it out. Let me know that he checked in on her to make sure paranormal shit's not happening to his other daughter as well. I know it kind of didn't target her in the first movie, but be concerned about your family, fucker.
But we have more mysticism to do. You don't understand. We don't have time. We don't have time, Eric.
Yes.
So Grandma's dead. When, I think, Andrew, you alluded to this to me on Twitter last night. Craig T. Nelson doesn't get a haircut, right? But his hair is just different for the rest of the movie.
They gave him a haircut at some point during the production, and that's it.
Was that a deleted scene as well? Like, gosh, I gotta go to great, your mom died, better get a haircut for the funeral, kind of a thing. Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, because it's really like, I think does he have the mullet right here in the kitchen scene?
No,
where they tell the kids it's gone right here.
I think it's gone there, or maybe not. I don't know. But it's
holy
right
fuck!
here.
My mother-in-law's dead. Better run out to the barber.
honey, are you calling our other daughter? No, I'm trying to see if Lou can squeeze me in at like 12:15.
Oh no, you're gonna fucking die in that house. First things first, I'm giving you a haircut. Clip, clip, clip. Clippity clip, clip.
Scissors,
This ghost is cutting my fun barbecue mullet.
Oh, not fun anymore. Now you got to get a real job. You got to buckle down, bucko.
We're going to give you a nice buzz.
I made you look like a real asshole.
I mean, it's one of those haircuts, like, it's so extreme.
Yes.
That, like, there's no way to not notice it. You know, it's not just like, oh, they kind of did his hair differently. It is noticeably cut and styled differently.
What's crazy is I didn't notice it. And I'm going to blame my friend Puff the Magic Dragon.
Gotcha.
Ooh, yeah, that guy will get you into all sorts of misadventures.
Right next to me on the couch.
Usually very guilty.
He's your new movie buddy. Dr. Pepper is on hiatus.
He's on hiatus until movie theaters can reopen safely in our area. I know they are now at like 25% or something, but I want a big shot in the rump before I go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, dude. I'm not stepping foot in a theater.
I'm pretty sure Puff the Magic Dragon is going to be on your shoulder when you go and hang out with Pepper and Popcorn again.
You know what? New York State could make it a lot easier for Puff to hang out. I'm just saying. Let's pass it. We got the New York State legislature there. Come on, guys. What are you doing?
They're too busy lying about how many old people died in nursing homes of COVID. That's...
Yeah, you think he might want to have a good news story. Yeah, legalize pot, whatever. Yeah, cool. Just don't write any more stories about me, please.
I'm the fun governor.
Yeah, that's how he could save this by rebranding.
Right.
Like, listen, sure, I'm a little whatever with the ladies, and sure, I'm a little whatever with Grammy, but ooh, we're partying, we're passing out drinks. allow drinking on the streets in New York. You know, let me walk down the street with a beer and a fucking Puff the Magic Dragon to fly behind me. What's wrong with that?
New Orleans rules, baby.
Exactly.
First of all, there are no house implosions in this area. Okay? But if there was, it was because of Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, I apologize also. I will not apologize for also writing a book called I Never Sexually Harassed Anyone Ever and then publishing it just last week before these allegations came out.
The old people in the homes died because of poltergeists. Okay?
Oh no, child, it's Cuomo. He's got everybody locked up. They can't get out, child.
Oh God, it's the Beast.
The beast.
So, you're in trouble when you're staying at your dead mother's house and you're trying to do some gardening and a cloud literally just comes over your house and starts pouring rain. Big problem.
Yes, and then this is when Kane makes his appearance at the house again, and he tries to get in. It's a cool scene between him and Craig T. a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think Craig T is better in the first movie, but I think he's a compelling actor in this.
Yes,
I mean, you can't beat Julian Beck. Julian Beck is so good in this scene, though. Like,
yes.
he just like he's like, well, I don't really know. I'm acting like a ghost, but I guess this is vampire rules. Let me in.
Right,
Let me in, please.
Yeah, what is that? Dude, we are mixing lore.
Just add it all in. Like I said, just throw it all the fuck in there. Have a fucking haunted car that runs down people too. Why don't you?
You know, if you don't let me in your house, I'm just going to have to haunt your yard. And if you want to ever read the newspaper again, it's going to be kind of hard to find.
Well, the only way you're gonna get rid of me is having sex with somebody else. That's right. It follows rules too, baby. Whatever you want, you got to stick it somewhere else, Craig T.
That would be amazing.
It's a new full moon. Better watch out for me later this evening. I'm doing that shit too. It don't make no sense.
Him trying to get in comes after a lot of, and we don't have to touch on all of it, but like Taylor is Will Sampson's character's name. He's like sort of trying to explain to Craig T. Nelson how they have to like prepare, the house has to be prepared to do like battle and everything. And Craig T. Nelson not being, super sensitive to indigenous communities around here because he's really getting pissed off that Will Sampson is around.
Yes.
And he does have to have this line where he's like, I've got nothing against these people. I read Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee in high school. Ye gads, man.
Yeah. It turns into a real bad dad stand-up routine, racist dad stand-up routine. And he's just like, I think I'm 1/16th on my mother's side. Am I right? It's like, stop.
Yeah, the white guy
I'm
special.
1/16th on my mother's side, but she'll never talk about that, I think is the other part of that line.
I think I should get some of that money,
Exactly.
Because I don't have to back that. I think I should get some of that money,
And then the script also manages to make a stupid like racist joke and also a dumbass Cuckoo's Nest reference at the same time because he's like, I mean, listen, Taylor's a nice guy, but what if he escaped from the tribal asylum?
My favorite Taylor moments compilation reel here is I like when he's just vibing in the garden and all the butterflies around him because he's just like a dude that's chill and like that makes it so good. By the way, do this at home, just be chill and suddenly bad shit ain't coming at you, all the spirits,
I think you're totally right, dude. And it's interesting because like I think to me anyway, Will Sampson is the most interesting character in the movie because I found him to be such a compelling actor.
Sure.
And I want more of that. And the movie completely abandons. There's one part in the movie where he's basically like, well, Craig T. Nelson, I've done all I can do. See you later, movie. And
Yes.
I'm like, no, wait a second. Like, you're the best part, man. Don't leave the movie.
Well, because he comes, he announced himself as he's like, Tangina sent me, which should be all
Right.
you need to know. You owe Tangina, and Craig T. Nelson, not to
Yes.
be outdone with the slurs. He's like, ha, what's the magic munchkin gotta say now? I'm like, dude, she
yep.
saved your fucking daughter's life. You should be kissing her feet, you asshole.
Yeah.
She sashayed into that house wearing them baller sunglasses and saved your daughter's life, you fucking asshole. Show a little respect to that woman.
Look, all I'm saying is, she comes into the house and the house implodes. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't know what, you can't say what's going on. All right?
Oh yes, I may be diminutive in stature, but you won't even see me because now you're fucked, y'all. You made a wrong enemy.
That's the thing, is I think she's more of like a Frightener's situation, and she's like making a deal with the ghosts, and like,
I see.
we'll both make out on this.
Well, there is a part where like Craig T. Nelson is saying like Taylor shows up, stuff starts going bad, like he's in on it. This is a whole setup to try to get money out of us or something.
Yeah, he's very suspicious boomer white guy here. There is the scene, so there's a big spooky haunting thing that happens one night, and they do. It's like a little bit of like an earthquake kind of a haunting here for the most part, and this is when they escape to the diner, and it's like 4 a.m.
Yeah, I love these counter ladies.
Yes, dude, the mother and daughter who like clearly live together, even though the daughter's probably like mid-50s, and they just bicker all the time. And there's a weird thing where like, is it the daughter's upset that the mother's like seeing some guy that's
Yes.
a scumbag? It's kind of hilarious.
Why'd you get me up at 4 a.m. for him? And I'm a cigarette here. Diner apple pie. Don't mind that.
Yeah. I would prefer the lost New Hollywood classic that these two ladies are anchoring. Like
Yep.
this is so much more what I'm into, other than whatever the fuck is going on with Craig T. Nelson and his
Dude,
fucking
you're-
mullet.
You're totally right, Kevin. These two ladies get back in their car. They're driving home. They pull up on the highway, like behind a pickup truck. In the flatbed, it's just Jack Nicholson playing piano in traffic.
Exactly, and the scummy boyfriend Ned Beatty.
Oh hell yeah!
Ooh. No, I'm dating your mother.
Look, I got you these chocolate flowers that you can eat them, and don't you come on, just give me a little bit of money to go to the poker table, okay?
It's still a haunting movie.
That movie has got to be called On the Skids for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Ooh, definitely, dude. Oh, come on, baby. Look, I bought you 2 cartons of your favorite cigarettes.
Second favorite. Oh, these are my backup cigarettes.
I'm trying here, baby. I'm trying.
I'm going to put one out on you.
Oh, no. I'm hitting the skids.
He said it.
Yeah, woo.
Woo! So the thing that's funny about these ladies, though, is the daughter is like, I don't have time for this, you crazy old lady. I'm getting out of here. And she stands up and becomes possessed by the grandmother. And like she leans into the table and the woman speaks, but it's the grandmother, the actress who played the grandmother's voice. And she's just like, you got to get back there. You got to face it as a family. You can't run away. It's already killed one of us. I'm dead.
I would have much preferred her being like, "Are you still smoking the pot? Huh? Are you still smoking the pot here? Yeah, I came back from heaven. To see if you are smoking the pot. It's JoBeth."
I know that when you were 16, you masturbated in your bedroom.
Twice.
Just all the old grievances come back.
You don't think I noticed that you cut my liquor with a little water just so you could take a nip back when you were 17? Huh? You don't think I noticed that?
That Memorial Day party was an atrocity, and I'm still mad about it.
Look, no, sit down. This is a 24-hour diner, and I have grievances from beyond the grave to get to.
You could have gotten into Harvard, but you were a brown girl.
What kind of mother serves ham on Christmas, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude.
Really? That lady's got a problem with ham on Christmas.
Yeah, she's one of those turkey people. You can't stop them.
By the way, I love when the counter lady goes back to normal and the other one is like, "Oh, you just went funny for a minute."
Yes.
Fine.
Yep.
Well, that's just, even Craig T. Nelson is just like they're out because like the idea is like there's an earthquake in the house. They bolted to the diner. Like, what are we gonna do now? And I think Taylor is like, you got to go back. You're safer at home. And that's when the grandmother has to like intervene and be like, look, you really have to go home. And Craig T. Nelson's like, listen, that's I don't know what who knows what that lady was talking about. That kind of crazy stuff happens all the time. I'm like, dude, you again last year your daughter went to the nether space.
Yep, refusing to believe what is already right in front of his face, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well, yeah, but that was all the Democrats doing. Okay.
Oh, I see.
He's got a center now. He knows what's going on.
There is a great line because when they go back out to the car, they're in like the parking lot of the diner. Taylor is there again, and he goes, Craig T. Nelson says to him, are you in cahoots with the lady in there? And he's got a great response. I love this line. He goes, I cahoot with no one. But it's insane. Yeah, that Craig T. Nelson is like, you guys are totally right. Like, the second that he was like, oh, Tangina sent me, accept whatever this dude is putting out. Because, like, this whole scene, again, is Craig T. Nelson turning him down. Like, why would you refuse this man's help? Only because you're probably a little racist, Craig T. Nelson character.
Exactly.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
More than a little. But so then they wind up going home and they let him move in with them, sort of, which is kind of fun. He has to sleep in a tent outside. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was like, whose decision was that? If it's Taylor's, fine. You want to sleep in the yard, fine. But if it's Craig T. Nelson, like, all right, you can help my family, but you got to sleep in the yard.
That's what it is.
That's also
it is.
shitty.
No, I can just get a hotel. No, if you're in the yard, you can stay in the yard. I could just get a hotel. I have friends in this neighborhood, actually. No, in the yard.
I mean, yeah, we talked about it already, but then this is when Kane comes to the house. My only thing about this scene is like, Craig T. Nelson, why don't you fucking gut up, dude, and just punch this guy in the face? Like, he's so like, I don't know, this old man's just yelling at me. I think part of it is like, are we supposed to believe here that he's like a little bit possessed by him in this moment?
I think so, yeah. He's a little bit confused.
Yeah, a little hypnosis, I think, is supposed to be at play.
That's right. I'm sort of a vampire. I could do whatever I want.
Man, and this is also near around when the Taylor hangs with the butterflies. Also, I love that he readies JoBeth here for the confrontation, being like, children fought in wars, lady.
Yeah.
like they are prepared if you treat them like an equal in some way. And I was like, the whole children fighting in wars thing through the gaze of Poltergeist II, I'm like, is this kid power shit?
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe.
What
I think he's just trying to get a child army going. That's his deal.
Well, there's no.
I would love that. At the end, he's got like 50. He's like the Pied Piper of Costa Verde or whatever the town is, and he's taking all these kids.
Children now!
Attack!
Well, see, I'm Craig T. Nelson. I'm going to help you fight Kane, this ghost, by throwing wave after wave of other children's souls at it, so it doesn't get yours.
I would be more inclined to get hip with the kid power theory if it were the kids that did anything at the end of this movie, but that's not what happens.
That's true.
For as much as Taylor is saying, you need to ready the kids for battle or whatever, like, they don't do anything.
Yeah,
nobody does anything.
Craig T. Nelson is the one that hucks the spear at the monster at the end.
The most that Carol Ann does is go up to her grandmother and says, "You broke my heart," kiss her on a cheek, and kill her.
Yeah. No one does anything. The car has got problems, and we talk about the car for a little bit, and then it's this fucking movie. We're talking about the car.
Yeah. Oh well, there's the Christine reference. It was a joke before, but
You're
I
right,
guess
but
it's real.
It's not like, but it's like, it's not fleshed out or anything. It's like, you don't know. I wish it was like Kane was out there fucking with his car, but you don't know why the car is just a shitty car. I assumed because he doesn't have a job, or he's a door-to-door salesman that is currently not working at the same time.
Oh, that's right. How are you going to go door to door selling stuff if I cut your brakes?
Did you see a Amish-looking guy under my car fiddling around?
I'm gonna call my brother Billy Kane, and he's just gonna get drunk in your living room.
Billy Kane.
Hey, Craig D. Nelson, man, you better get out here. The oatmeal guy's fucking with your car.
I told you to let me in the house. Now I'm gonna have to fuck with your car.
Oh, you got a haunted car. By that, I mean your brakes are cut.
I live in your transmission now.
I'm putting ghost sugar in your gas tank.
Beep, beep, motherfucker. Your life is over.
I put a dead body in your trunk. Have fun with that.
I unscrewed all your headlights.
A dead body in your trunk. Oh man. I was gonna kind of around my favorite part of the movie, because we did mention the middle of this movie is just like saggy / like we're preparing for this big confrontation.
It's like 50 minutes of this movie is them just talking about the idea of the movie coming to a conclusion.
Yep, exactly right. We're just sitting around spending the middle of the movie talking about the end of the movie. But there is that great scene where Taylor is outside and he's sort of, just looking up at the stars. And Craig D. Nelson comes out just drinking tequila straight from this bottle.
And he goes, tequila, huh? More like tequila, am I right? You want somebody? And he's like, no, I'm not an alcoholic. It's 3 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, this tequila is going to be coming up in quite a lot of therapy sessions. that pronunciation specifically is going to be coming up quite a lot.
We should talk about, so like we're all getting ready for bed. Dad's been drinking tequila all day, and Carol Ann and the boy are like kind of like fighting in the bathroom there. And he's like, I'm just gonna clean my braces and be right down. And this is the silliest scene in the movie.
It's very silly. Why is Carol Ann being like bedtime cop right here? Get the fuck out of this bathroom.
I don't know. I kind of like, I really like this scene because it breaks up all the boredom that's been happening before this. Like, Tetsuya, the braced face, is fucking great compared to that.
This braces trauma, man. As someone with braces, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's terrible.
Ooh, yeah, that must have been freaking you out, dude. I never had the pleasure.
Oh, yeah, I did not know that you had braces.
Yeah, you can't tell, but it did happen.
I didn't mean it like that.
No, I know.
Yeah. You're seeing post-reconstruction.
Yeah, you don't want
construction.
With the materials that I had, this was the best I could do.
It's not. Yeah, this is as good as it could get, my friend.
But yeah, I apparently the deal was, I guess in the script, it was a little more of a My Girl situation, and this kid was supposed to be attacked by bees. But the actor playing the son was like terrified of bees and was like, "Look, I'm not doing that. I don't know what you want me to, like, fire me, whatever. I'm not doing a bee scene." And then they were like, "All right, we're gonna make braces come out of your mouth and fucking tie you to the ceiling with them, or whatever happens here."
Yeah, but he's on the set of Poltergeist 2, and he's being clever. He's just like, they're like, no, we're not going to use, we would never use real bees. And it's like, yeah, no fucking way, dude.
Yep. Totally. This kid knew of the curse.
I don't even understand the bee angle here. It's ghost control bees?
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. And it's hilarious because it's the one thing that you would actually be like, it's kind of original as compared to everything else being based on stuff we already have seen before. Like a kid being attacked in a bathroom by bees would be something interesting to see.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what's that buzzing coming from the medicine cabinet? You know?
Yeah.
I guess Kane just knows how to control bees. Or they're ghost bees. They're dead bees.
I mean, yeah, they're ghost bees. They would be ghost bees.
Oh, look at my army of ghost bees.
All bees go to hell, don't you know?
Definitely. That's definitely true.
Wasps go to heaven, wouldn't you think it?
Yeah, that's actually pretty surprising because hornets and bees definitely in hell.
But wasps in the kingdom of heaven walking with God.
Yeah,
Just God walking around with a bunch of wasps.
they didn't want a future steal. They future stealed that from Candyman.
But so like the braces start to come out, and it's the crazy wire thing. That's again, as someone the braces was kind of like, oh geez. But then when he's wrapped up like Spider-Man zapped him with a web,
It's a little silly.
Yeah.
it gets really silly really quickly.
And then like Craig T. Nelson and JoBeth Williams are trying to like pull him out of it, and they're getting wrapped up in all of it. And then like, isn't there some other like braces monster thing that's coming after one of them?
Well, no, the braces turns into an arm, and it's
That's
trying
what
to
it is.
zap into the outlet. Is the idea?
Oh yes, that's right. It's these braces are trying to commit suicide and take whoever's touching with them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going to give you a shock of your life with your weird future medicine metal mouth there, and this Alexander Graham Bell's death machine in the wall here.
Yeah, you should have went with an alternating current. Sorry, you're gonna die.
That direct current's going to get you every time. And so this whole time too, he's Craig T. Nelson screaming at Will Sampson, right? He's like, Taylor! And Taylor's just downstairs holding Carol Ann. And when all is said and done, he's like, what's going on here? What the fuck were you doing, man? My kid was having his braces stick him to the goddamn ceiling. And he's like, you're such an idiot. You've listened to nothing that I've told you. All of that was a distraction so that this fucking monster spirit could get Carol Ann. So I was here doing the thing that I've been telling you to do, Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, a distraction. Murdering my one son to get my other daughter isn't really a distraction for me. I'd have a dead kid. So
Look,
I'm trying
well,
to keep everybody alive
look,
here, Taylor.
If you're not ready to watch your son die, then you're really not taking this seriously.
Absolutely.
Taylor weighed the options. It's like, here's your beautiful blonde girl, and there's your disgusting shit boy, mud-haired American boy. He can go.
Did you hear what that little shit boy said? He said the R word, just like you. Yeah, he should die.
I want to watch the end of this scene where this kid's braces retreat back into his mouth. What happens with these things?
Yeah. Do we have to like clip those off or what?
Liquid metal. It just all kind of reforms in his mouth.
Oh yeah, if I'm if I'm Robbie, like the next 20 years of my not 20 years, like the next 2 years of my life, get these fucking braces out of my fucking mouth.
Oh
now.
my God, yes.
I
Yep.
never again.
Like Craig T. Nelson isn't like drinking tequila, going to the dents. Get him in that chair now. You get the thing out of his mouth. He'll go get a Invisalign in the future.
Like this kid should be like, I don't care if I look like a human shark. Get these braces out of my mouth.
I don't care if my kid looks like British royalty, okay? In the mouth department. That's fine. But I'm not having this fucking metal monster in there.
Oh man, the best part of Prince Harry starting a podcast is you don't have to see his mouth.
Yeah. He's got good lip coverage. It goes down real low.
I do love when he's yelling at Taylor, and Taylor's whole thing is like, he's just trying to explain to him, like, it wasn't that I was sitting here doing nothing. You guys were doing that. I was protecting her because that was the idea, was like, this ghost is going to, cause this braces distraction. And then while you're dealing with that, they're going to fucking steal the actual child that they want. They want Carol Ann. They don't give a shit about Robbie. Sorry, Robbie. And like, while Craig T. Nelson is dressing this dude down for the 4th time in this movie, the ghosts even are like, you know what, man? You're being real shitty to this guy who's just trying to help you here. And Craig T. Nelson gets thrown across the room and crashes through his own like living room bar area. Oh, I was laughing.
And you get what is this other, like the bright white like light ghost? Is that Kane too?
I think so.
The one
It's
who
hard
says like,
to tell.
you cannot keep her. I am not dead.
Yes, that's got to be Kane.
I think it's
guess
supposed
so.
to be him as like what he actually is now is like a monster, and what we're seeing is a projection of what he used to look like walking around.
Hey, now I'm a light being. Pretty confusing, right? Fuck you.
But yeah, I mean, and this is another thing that I think Taylor says at one point, he's talking about like death only transforms us into another state of being. His soul still remains evil, so like it's the same entity, but now that he's dead, he's transformed into another being, but it's the same evil soul.
And then Craig T. Nelson's just like, again, this is a deleted scene waiting to happen, them talking about going to a sweat lodge, because Craig T. Nelson, who's been anti Native American mysticism this whole movie, is just in a sweat lodge. In the next scene, I'm like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
And
right before this, we also, I think, get the lines of like, the love is what he's trying to like destroy. Like you as a family have to stick together, and that'll help defeat it. And then we just cut to like Craig T. Nelson in a fucking sweat lodge, smoking up. Pretty sweet.
Making more bad jokes, more like, huh, man, if this is a health club, where's my locker combination?
Oh.
Yeah, at least that one. I don't know. You know what? Never mind. I will say, while he is at the sweat lodge is when Zelda shows up at the house. This tiny little blink and you miss it interaction was the much bigger scene, but this is her like, hi Diane, sorry to come announced, and like she comes in and she's got these photographs and she's like, that we found this whole tomb right below your old house. Do you recognize anybody in this photograph? And she tells the whole story.
You're missing the joke where she knocks on the door. It's all scary.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And she looks out the peephole. Nobody's there. Knocks again, and it's like, yeah, she's a very small woman. We've got it, guys. It's okay.
Thank you, Brian.
And
you could do that joke. It's another $50,000 extra. I don't care. I'm a lot taller than you, and I stand on my fat stacks.
Ooh, yeah, I'll do that scene, child. And then right after I finish it, guess what, y'all? I'm going to drive home from work in my new Lamborghini y'all are buying me. Yeah, I'm sitting on a phone book, whatever.
But there's, I heard, like, one of the best lines here is like she's telling the story of this guy and his religious sect, and they disappeared or whatever, and she's like, yeah, they were going out west to California, child, to start a utopian society. The way that she says society is the absolute best with this voice. I love it.
And no, he says but then the revelation is happening, and they kind of just go into a cave, and he's like, nope, it's gonna happen, don't worry, we're just gonna starve to death pretty much.
Yeah, like all those dudes. Yeah, you do get a little bit of flashback here, right?
Yes, you see it,
like just like fits and starts kind of clips.
We also
and things.
get a little of his motivation, because they tasted a lick of her life force in the first movie and they want it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, he wants to basically like possess Carol Ann and steal her life force.
I guess because they were around her life force is why they're able to project now. Question mark. They got a bite.
Yeah, entirely possible. Yeah, something about her being on the other side. They're familiar with her now, and now it's kind of more like a two-way street for the ghosts.
I'm sure it all makes sense.
It does, Chris. It makes perfect sense.
I mean, like at this whole sweat lodge thing, I'm just like, did you call William Hurt? And he was just like, no. My studies were in Mexico. Not this is different. No, it's different. It's not altered states. I swear.
Because he smokes up some. It's magic. Like you see like some cool. It's like force lightning and weed mixed together, which is pretty cool.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sick combo, dude. That's some real couch sitter stuff right there.
Oh yeah. Puff the magic dragon, move over.
But he says Will Sampson has a line here where he goes, smoke. Like he's literally like addressing the element of smoke, and he's like, smoke, fill him with knowledge. And we do see later Craig T. Nelson does have like some smoke powers a little bit.
That's pretty
so
cool.
It's one last like Taylor being like, look, you've been fucking horrible to me this whole time. Your jokes absolutely terrible. But I am now giving you one more thing in your arsenal to fight this spirit. Because, by the way, I am out of this movie for the next 20 minutes. I'll see you at the wrap at the end there, buddy. Adios, Craig T. Nelson.
I'm going to have to forcibly make you stoned to make you it's sufferable, okay?
Yeah,
That's what we're going to have to do here.
just to tone down your like white guy rage. Smoke up a little bit, dude.
And yet,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
deserve any of that money, man. So stop asking me. I had nothing to do with it.
And so what Taylor has been telling him the whole time, and now what Tangina also says is like, look, you guys, you got to go back to the Cuesta Verde house or the site of the house, and you got to go back to Cuesta Verde. You got to face down this beast. I mean, they're not going to stop following you, Craig T. Nelson. You got to gut up and go do it.
But it's a better idea, which I think is how is just get smashed on tequila instead.
Yep, absolutely.
Just let, like,
Absolutely.
get absolutely fucking wrecked on this tequila.
Yep. Stealing from Barfly, too. I see how it is.
There's not even like a seltzer or even a beer to cut this with.
Here's to all my
Nothing.
ghosts.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like we gotta first of all get a glass. Even though if you're intending on destroying the whole bottle, get a glass, slow it down a little bit. Maybe put some ice
you want me
in
to
there.
get a glass? There's just a little bit left. Are you gonna do those dishes?
The answer is no. Yeah, like Craig T. Nelson doesn't see any more ghosts. He just sees Faye Dunaway smoking a cigarette on his couch for the rest of his life.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Pretty
this
cool.
this is when there's a worm in the tequila, and
This is so fucking
Dude,
funny. Now you
This
just
is
move into
this is some
you're like in a spoof movie now.
because the
Yeah, I mean,
worm has a
but
little
it's-
eyeball. It's like, hi, I'm a worm in tequila. Hello.
it's a Freddy Krueger gag.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
It's
Absolutely a Freddy Krueger gag.
The worm is brought back to life as undead now, and presumably, I guess, from Kane's ghost magic.
Yes.
I kind of wanted the worm, like, while it was going down his gullet, to be like, down I go. See you in a little bit.
Well, 'cause
It's just
I
the
think-
worm is just dancing. He's like getting drunk.
He's just in his stomach dancing around.
'cause Kane, I guess, Kane does possess the worm, right? So that when
Yes.
he consumes it, he becomes Kane. So the Kane is just like, here I go, down you go. Oh wow, you da.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah.
Better look out. Better eat less chili. My goodness, it's smelly down here.
This is gonna go down a little harsher than that Billy beer that you were drinking.
My God, Craig T. Nelson, you better cut it back with the red meat. It's like a barnyard in here.
He gets trapped in his colon, haunts him from the inside forever.
Oh no, only one way out.
All the red meat that's stuck in there is talking to
Yeah.
him too.
Yeah, it's like I can't get by
It's
this,
a living.
this red meat wall. I can't get through to the anus.
And also, by the way, you got to spit that gum out. You can't be swallowing it.
It's just gum and steaks down here. I'm trapped forever.
Gum and steaks. But it is great. So I mean, he swallows it and immediately gets possessed. It would be awesome because he must be so drunk at this point. He's just like, Jesus Christ! Oh God, you're all gonna die in here. You're all gonna die in here.
And then like internally, like he's gonna be like Kane is like, my God, I should have possessed him long before he finished that whole bottle. I can't control this thing at all.
Oh great! I just pissed myself. Well, he pissed himself, but I'm him now. So now I'm pissing myself.
And now, like him, and
Oh boy, I'm remembering what it feels like to piss my pants.
I should have possessed a bunch of hops, and he would have janked me up real quick.
he then tries to like have sex with his wife. I'm like, is that Craig T. Nelson or is that Kane?
That's Kane, dude. That is Kane.
Ghost.
And there's a
Ghost stole my cock. That's like a Lifetime movie title.
It
I
is.
think would
Yeah,
be
it
a good
is.
one.
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, because he's got a bad. He's Craig T. Nelson, but he's also Kane, and he's like, I feel like Craig T. Nelson's doing a little bit of a voice here,
He
and
is.
he's
He
like,
kind of
you
is.
know, I got my needs, Diane, and then she goes,
Seems like your needs have been filled by the bottle tonight.
Yeah, dude. Well, I would just be like, fucking try it, asshole. Nothing's gonna happen after a bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what that wiener's capable of. Okay.
Half-mast at best.
You know,
And you've already pissed your pants.
Yeah, dude,
Craig
play
T. Nelson.
fucking taps and fold up the flag. You're done.
exactly. It's time to put on an episode of Frasier and go to bed.
Exactly.
No, show me your deflated balloon. I'd love to see it.
Why don't you go possess up a cup of coffee and see what happens? Maybe sober up a little bit.
Yeah, and he's got another line. Like he gets on top of her, very much like attacking her now, and he just starts screaming, "We want the angel! We want the angel!"
And he starts to retch a little bit here.
Oh God!
And this is we're body horror. All of a sudden, I did not see this coming.
No, this is insane.
It's like, and yeah, like it's just. And thank God, I'm an older man now. I'm much more responsible. The next time I vomit from drinking, I'll think about this. Thank God I didn't see this earlier, because this would have been my entire 20s. It's just thinking,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh great, it's Poltergeist 2 again.
Oh, here it comes. I'm pulling a Craig T. Nelson again.
Look, tell everybody to get out of the house. There's going to be a being on your floor that is going to turn into a mutant tower of faces, and it's going to be bad.
This thing is really kind of creepy. It turns into a giant worm, and then it starts getting like rib cage and bones and stuff. It's very disgusting, this thing he pukes at.
This is a stunt actor, by the way. A triple amputee stunt actor who did a couple of horror movies. Triple amputee from Vietnam, but like that was his career, was like being like kind of scary beings that don't have arms and legs.
It sort of looks like the Wishmaster is starting to form.
Dude,
Yes, it does.
Yes. I was just going to say it looks like Baby Wishmaster.
I love Baby Wishmaster.
The best thing about this creature is it's like edging. It's trying to get to the bathroom.
Yes.
and then it like turns to look at Craig T. Nelson and gives him a cocked eyebrow.
Yes, dude. It totally, because like they give it so that like the makeup configuration on the actor doing the stunt work here is it looks sort of like Kane. It's actually, you know what it reminded me of, guys? Very much like a Beetlejuice moment
Yes.
here. Yeah. But yeah, you're totally right, Kevin. This is kind of like a just like scurries out. It's kind of great.
This is
almost fucked your wife. Back we go.
exactly. And Noble Craig credited as Vomit Creature.
Vomit creature.
He started off in a movie called as Tim McGraw, the Snake Man, 1973. Followed it up with Vomit Creature here. Then was Sewer Monster in Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay. Okay.
He's in The Blob as Puddle Soldier, and Nightmare on Elm Street 5 as Merging Freddy. So he played Freddy Krueger.
Cool.
Look at this.
Then Bride of Reanimator as the reanimated crypt creature. That was his last performance.
Yeah. Oh wow.
He worked with some greats. I don't know. That's a career, man.
Totally, definitely.
Is he is this war hero still with us, Steve?
He passed on in 2018.
Ooh, that's too bad.
By the way, if anybody ever gets a chance to see, it's pretty fun.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a fun little movie. It's a snake. It's like a snake horror movie.
I'll have to see it.
There you go.
Oh,
That actually might have actually been on the poster for all I know.
And, fucked your wife. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'm out of here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Almost got her.
Craig T. Nelson blows smoke in the thing's face, dude. This is where he uses his smoke power. Yeah.
He shotguns at him, which is fun. It is weird, like that we get this part in this movie. It's just so not in that first movie. Like you get that like kind of, it seems very much like the end of Ghostbusters 1, that big like tarantula ghost kind of a thing happens at the end of both.
Yes,
one.
dude. The thing that it crawls under the Washington Square Park arch.
Yes.
During the Flip City montage. Yeah.
Well,
yep. I thought the same exact thing.
You know, in the first movie, there's brief moments of like fleeting gore. Like one guy thinks he's ripping his face off, and we watch a guy rip his face off. And this sequel, the moments that are kind of like that are like this, like the fucking weird creature guy on the floor.
What's weird is like we've talked about how much of a hodgepodge it is, but right after this little like monster part happens, and they rid themselves of the monster right here, and they're like, kids, and they open the door, and then it's a bunch of extras from the Thriller video, or just like there's just like this shot of like outright zombies, and we've seen these zombies before. They're just all of Kane's, underlings, followers, whatever. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I get those zombies out of here. There was just a little, worm creature.
There's a bunch of fucking zombies. Like, the zombies tried to attack JoBeth Williams in the backyard at some point.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of
the same zombies.
There's also like I felt a strong Fulci thing in this movie, because like when they go down below to the underneath the pool to find the place where they all died, they find a wet corpse with a slug coming out of its mouth.
Nice.
And I'm like, that's total Fulci. That would be totally in a shot from his movie.
Most definitely. And then it goes like we find the kids. Carol Ann's hiding in the car, and they get Robbie. He was jerking off in the bathroom or whatever.
The funny thing is he's in a closet. He's dressed in a full football gear, and like earlier, Craig T. Nelson's like, Robbie, that's a bit much. I'm like, dude, have you my braces? Do you remember yesterday with the braces?
Yeah.
First of all, do you have a fucking aunt I can stay with out of curiosity?
I mean, the helmet makes total sense. There's ghosts thrown around your kids all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, Steve. They definitely do have an aunt, but that's the plot of the third movie.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If I was Robbie, I would just be like, whenever anybody asks me a question, like, when are you taking me to the dentist? When are you taking? I don't care what's going to happen to the house. When are you taking me to the dentist to get this demon off my teeth?
Would it be a thing, like, because I don't know how braces work. I never had to have them, but like,
well, when a mom braces and a dad braces love each other.
Oh, excellent.
And then he puts his slug in her.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Could you how are they on there, Steve? Could you take like a screwdriver and just like rip them off?
I mean, yes, it would be incredibly painful. They're usually like some sort of like cementish kind of.
Oh, really? That's how they do it.
Could you say it would be incredibly painful as Bane?
You could take them off, but it would be incredibly painful.
Thank you.
Look at Steve taking requests from people inside the episode.
It's listener request month. You know what? Eric is also a listener.
Thank you.
You adopted the braces. I was born into it.
Yes, I lived in a black hole, and by that I mean I had braces for like 6 years, and nobody liked me.
A mouth is kind of a black hole.
Isn't
it interesting that like inside your body it's just as dark and desolate as space itself?
Yeah,
that's right, dude. That's some heavy shit, man.
I guess it's wet and humid, which space isn't, and I guess you could breathe inside someone too. More on that later.
Yeah. What are you? Is this all inner space rules?
I don't know.
That was not a documentary.
Everything is inner space rules, Chris.
But they go to Carol Ann, who's locked herself in the car because she's like, "Can we go? Can we go?"
Exactly.
Dude, and I will say I was shocked watching the first movie earlier this week, and shocked again. This dog makes it through both these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
All wins on this motherfucker, dude.
Hell yeah.
No losses.
And what's this dog's name? E-Bomb's World? What is this? What do they call this dog?
I missed it. I really did.
It's like E-Boz or E-Buzz or something.
Let me look it up.
Ebert.
It's Ebert. Yeah, our dog Ebert.
I don't know. You looking it up, Steve?
Yeah.
You're Googling Poltergeist dog. Maybe it'll have like a picture of a ghost dog.
E-Buzz is his name.
E-Buzz. I don't know what's going on there, man. It sounds like a name of a vape.
Yeah.
When did E-Buzz pass on?
I'm looking it up. Our favorite movie dogs, E-Buzz and Poltergeist.
Yeah. We got a tombstone on that guy?
I think E-Buzz was probably also a victim of the Poltergeist curse.
Exactly.
They wanted to have him in the third movie, but he got hit by a car.
He was murdered in a gangland slaying.
Wrong place at the wrong time. Tried to buy a pack of gum at the wrong street corner, and boom.
Yeah, I got nothing.
No,
on
dude.
this
Also,
dog.
E-Buzz, great dog actor, also huge drug kingpin.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So you don't have a date. So we'll just
No.
presumed dead. I think we'll say.
Well, yeah. If this movie came out in 1985, this dog is not 33 years old. I'm gonna guess the dog's not 33 years old.
Probably not. So then the movie becomes another horror movie because we're in this car, we're trying to get out of here, and now it's just like flying ghost shit. And this is such a dumb. I feel it's a dumb Toby Hooper reference. The chainsaw
Yes, it absolutely
flying
is.
all over the place.
But
I mean,
also,
it was-
so that's happening. The chains around the bumper of the car.
Yeah, it's a little much. The chainsaw adds a moment of levity for me.
It is.
I thought it was kind of cute and fun, but
it was
yeah.
cool. I was into it. I mean, it's just so bonkers. I will say, they thought they were going to release this movie as a 3D movie, but then like Jaws
Yes.
3D did so poorly, and they just didn't do that. So that's why the chainsaw is coming right at you.
You could see that in the trailer, even like because they really highlight the chainsaw shot in the trailer.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and so like Craig T. Nelson finally just peels out.
Well, first of all, the dog
great-
is ripping at these I don't know what you'd call it, like
The
power
electrical
cables.
cables.
It's amazing. The dog, and I think that this is more fucking Stephen King and Steven Spielberg shit, because they definitely shock this dog in this scene, because this dog is like,
Yep.
fuck this.
Yep. You see the dog like a shock, like a spark comes out of one of these things. And the dog's like, "The fuck was that?"
Look, I'm going to be square with you. If an animal isn't hurt during the process, it's not a Spielberg picture. Okay, you have to kind of hurt an animal.
That's true.
You know how you get that little PETA disclaimer at the end of your movie? $9,000. It's not that expensive, okay? We buried so many horses on the set of Raiders of the Lost Ark. We had to bury them too high, okay?
On the set of The Terminal, I had to punch a few pigeons just to meet the quota.
I know.
Both movies we ate like kings, though.
Yeah, we used a lot of CGI horses in Warhorse because we killed all the original ones.
There were no horses left alive anywhere near when they were filming.
Yeah, I had.
Was Steven Spielberg a secret producer on Luck?
It's possible.
Yeah, Warhorse is it's a movie about I actually had a war between horses and they all died just to feed my dark soul before I could make a picture.
Feed my dark soul. There's a thing that's insane that happens. So Craig T. Nelson, he bashes through the driveway door, goes super fast down this driveway. I hate backing out of these driveways where there's like walls on both sides, a narrow driveway like that. And this is exactly why Craig T. Nelson, like a goddamn pinball machine, against the walls here. But did you notice the crazy bit of extra driving that happens? Like he gets out of the driveway and it's like, all right, we got to go to Cuesta Verde. Let's go. He does a quick just loop around the neighbor's lawn and fucks up their whole yard for no reason.
Good. Fuck them.
It's just kind of great. Like the whole lawn is destroyed because he's like doing donuts before they take off.
Leaning on the horn as he does it. Fuck you!
Yeah, Jeff. Okay, yeah, your fence is a little fucked up. Try having your house implode. All right, see ya.
And meanwhile, Robbie is like, "Are we going to the orthodontist? Is this? Are we going to stop at the orthodontist before we get to Costa Verde, or I can't
might
help
be
but notice
open.
that the orthodontist is south. You're going north. What's going on here?
I haven't heard the words oral surgeon in a while, and I would love to hear them.
But yeah, so they get back to Cuesta Verde. Tangina is just there hanging out. She's like, "Oh, you finally made it. I've been sleeping in this hole for a week."
I just knew you'd come back. Also, something I know. Hey, Craig T. Nelson. Ooh, I see your future child. You're gonna be in a show with Dick Van Dyke's brother.
It's gonna last longer than you wanted to, child, but you're gonna be having a great time.
And they're gonna try to bring it back many decades later, but then everybody's gonna agree that it sucks balls.
Man, they brought that one back too, huh?
They
Everything.
forgot about that.
They
Yes.
tried to, and it I don't even think they aired it. It was so bad.
Yeah, I don't know that they aired it. I mean, they should have taken a note. Another production that should have taken a note from the failed Coach reboot was the failed Murphy Brown reboot.
dude.
Yeah.
Let's just not air. Like, we watched the first episode of it and it was like, nah.
Well, because both of them did the stupid, like the weirdest choice was like, I think in both Coach and in that, like their children are like political
Yes.
commentators.
Well, that was Murphy Brown's son was like also a reporter or something. Yeah.
And he's like more right, like he's a little bit more or right wing or something like that. And like Coach's son was going to be like a liberal.
Oh, is that right?
It was
I can't have that.
hell on earth.
Well, you hear the new news about Frasier coming back now.
Yeah,
I did see that.
And I just watched Moonstruck the other night. Awesome movie. Got the Criterion. And John Mahoney's in it. And it just reminded me, like, how the fuck are you going to do Frasier without John Mahoney? Good luck, dude.
Possible.
Good fucking
Well,
luck.
make him a poltergeist.
Oh, no, Niles.
Jesus.
Dad's chair.
It's moving around.
It's like reclining and then declining
Yeah.
again.
Frasier
repeatedly.
like
That'd be awesome.
draws a circle on the floor. Oh, watch this, Niles. Puts Dad's chair in the one circle and it goes across the room to the other circle.
Oh no! This the living room is haunted by Dad, and the bedroom is haunted by Eddie, and the courtyard is haunted by Maris.
She's still alive. She's just still wafer thin and wandering around. I mean, I totally feel you on that, Steve. That was my thought too. I mean, the thing is, we just finished like the full series rewatch a few months ago, and. Yes, the interaction with John Mahoney was always great, but like that show was still able to fire on all cylinders, having Kelsey Grammer interact with any of the other three leads also.
Sure.
So like if they could get them, which I mean,
They could
they're
get
not
them.
they're not doing much. Like you could do something, but you're right, it's gonna be weird without Martin for sure.
I think also the problem is going to be that Kelsey Grammer lost his sense of humor.
Yep.
I don't think
Also
he's funny
that-
anymore.
yeah.
He's just not
Yeah.
funny anymore. It's fine. It happens. But like it just happened and like now he just does money plane movies. Like that's what his
My
life is
question
going.
though,
He
is,
only
like,
made one
but-
money plane, Chris. To be fair,
He's going to make more. Stop it.
I
Stop
hope so.
pretending
But
Kelsey
here's my
Grammer
question,
is going to
though.
have a non-money plane career.
But Chris, hang on a second. But you're acting as if Kelsey Grammer was hilarious anytime he wasn't playing Frasier. When was that? What
I
else?
guess.
What else did this comedic genius give us that you're referencing?
Well, I mean, that's
Sideshow
enough.
Bob. Sideshow Bob for sure.
Oh yeah, Sideshow Bob.
Oh,
That's good.
sure, yeah.
But also, I would say
I don't know. I guess
Frasier
we'll have
is
to
enough.
see.
Like, if you create a character like Frasier, I'm kind of if it's that big and you get that many laughs out of it, that's fine.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Is like I'm sure he can still play Frasier. You know what I mean?
I brought up his IMDb. Who could forget Down Periscope?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I saw that shit in the theater. Yikes. It's terrible. It might be a Stay Tuned, actually. I don't know. Anyway, Frasier reboot aside, we get back to Cuesta Verde. We go down into the graveyard cave situation, and Diane and Carol Ann get sucked away to the other side immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not down there for 3 minutes.
It's a thing
They're
where
consumed by the other side.
you've got. I mean, the ending of this movie is so slapdash and so short.
Yeah.
You needed to. If your idea is you got to hit that 90-minute mark, you've got to cut the middle then, because like the ending is the whole thing. Or did they run out of money?
Yep.
Like I'm just really confused.
I think it's we thought this other stuff was way more interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because this ending, it takes 2 seconds to wrap this whole thing up.
Right. So they're in the other side, and then it's like, oh, the love of the family is what's going to destroy everyone. Obviously, if you were a single mother, you're dead.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
you don't
definitely.
love enough. You
Mhm.
need to have a nuclear family to survive a ghostly encounter, apparently. And then we get the spear. Like, wait, Craig T. Nelson walks into this fire portal to the other side. Pretty interesting detail that Taylor cooks up.
Yeah, it's neat. 'Cause
Yeah.
Taylor's just there too. I guess like her and Tangina and Taylor were just kind of like hanging out in this hole for a couple days,
Yeah, dude.
just getting.
Pop
I
the
think
magic
because they
dragon.
knew.
Hey, Taylor, did you bring enough beer, child? I think this is like a 3 12-pack situation.
and I can really put them away, y'all.
I mean, Taylor, he's got big arms. 30 racks. Bring 2 30 racks down. to that
totally.
pit.
Absolutely.
Taylor, I already had 12 beers before I drove over here, child.
Oh, is all you have to eat is Lunchables? Oh, damn.
Taylor, you should have.
I'm sorry.
Taylor, I don't know. Could you get some apples or something? Like, my God.
Taylor, do you really think a powerful psychic such as myself can survive on nothing but PBR and Slim Jims, y'all?
Oh, a party bag of bugles? Come on, Taylor. What are you doing?
I appreciate that bags of combos are very expensive nowadays. But we can't just sustain on all of them, child.
Ooh, ranch Pringles swing and a miss, Taylor.
Did you seriously only bring beer and clear Pepsi?
Oh, man. Ew.
Well, I thought that, Taylor's speaking. I'm not doing an impression.
Sure.
I thought getting Crystal Pepsi would keep us, more in tune with the new age.
Yes.
It's like crystals.
Hey, Taylor, have you found a non-haunted place to piss in this cave? Because honestly, I don't want all these ghosts looking at me. I've been drinking beer after beer. I've been putting them back. I got to break the seal, Taylor.
Taylor's definitely pissing in some skull's mouth. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh, Taylor, I apologize for asking you to bring some greens. I couldn't have thought that asparagus was the greens you were going to think of. This place is unlivable now, child.
Evacuate.
Strap in, Taylor. This is going to get disgusting real quick, y'all.
It's like living in a bath of ammonia. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So he's just there, and he's like,
He's just there.
Yeah, Craig Nelson hears him, and he goes to him, and he's like, "You got to go into the fire and see the other side and stay together." And yes, if you are, and all of your whole family's here, right? Every single one of them. Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. We all love each other. Yeah.
Put all your
Definitely didn't
family
forget
into
them,
the ghost dimension right now. It's amazing. And then Taylor he puts in the spear, and I thought it was going to be like, grab onto it, I'll pull you out, but
yes.
nope.
Well, it's great because not only does Craig T. Nelson go to the other side, but so does Robbie. And I'm just picturing this kid standing in front of the fire like, so Dad, if we walk through this wall of flames, like the dentist's office is on the other side, right? Get the ortho there, get these things off my face. It's just through the fire, right?
It would suck for them to, especially Robbie, to grow old and die and then be like, oh, this again.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, been there, done that. Other side, real impressive.
So they go through, and we're seeing the other side. It's kind of fun. It's a lot of green screen stuff,
Yeah.
space and whatever. Yeah.
It looks okay.
It's like
it's the only visually interesting thing in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like if outer space was just spider webs or something.
I just don't like the fucking Wilford Brimley end of the thing face tower.
Yes, that's very stupid.
Right, yeah, that was dumb. And it was apparently a fake out. That's just what the beast wants you to see.
Oh, okay. Because it was interesting. Yeah, the one interesting thing to look at would be the fake thing, wouldn't it?
You just said you didn't like it.
But it's interesting. Like, it's the same thing with the brace thing. Like, it breaks
Chris?
up the monotony of it, so something
Chris?
to look at least.
I'm going to throw a spear through the internet and hit you.
A light spear? You're not with your whole family, Eric. You can't do that.
That's true. I would perish in front of ghosts because I don't have kids.
Well, that's why ghosts don't even bother with single people. Like, fuck them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
No fun here haunting a one person.
So they defeat Kane here by throwing that spear in him.
Yes, but then
that's it.
In
all of 30 seconds. What a grand battle it was.
Well, to be fair, like the little girl, Carol Ann, disappears. Right? She goes into the light.
Yeah, in the scuffle, she gets knocked loose from the family, and just gets sucked in. And then it's great. Taylor's like, I have lost. Oh boy, this is a yikes.
That's good to.
I'm so fired. I'm so fucking fired.
Hey Taylor, I'm gonna start the car, y'all. Leave these fucking white people to their death.
Quick, close the fire portal, Taylor. We just gotta get out of here, child. You accidentally killed that girl.
I can't die in prison, Taylor.
We're gonna go back out to the desert to that tall rock and just live there.
But I guess the grandma, I guess, is the angel here. Is that right?
Yes.
That brings her back.
It is so hysterical because this woman, this grandma, ghost angel, whatever, just has this look on her face like, well, lucky thing I died. Goodbye, family.
I think it turns out, Carol Ann, heaven didn't want her and hell was afraid she'd take over.
Yes,
Heaven is full.
That's right. I've saved Carol Ann. Now you better stop fucking smoking. You better stop fucking smoking or I'm taking her back. You hear me?
And when heaven is full, the dead will walk the earth. And now, your daughter has gone all the way to heaven and back. She's a zombie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Craig T. Nelson, absolutely terrible line when they come back from the other side. He goes to Taylor and he's like, some battle, huh? And I was like, no, it wasn't. It was terrible. Did you see what just happened? You were in there for 4 minutes. Garbage.
It sucks. And then they just kind of Zelda Rubinstein disappears.
Dude, yes, this is the grandest of continuity errors right here.
Yes. She's just gone. And then Taylor is just like, hey man, so about my price kind of a thing. And it's like, I can't help but notice that your whole family's alive and I still don't have a car, so
Yeah, I mean, there's this whole weird thing earlier in the film where like he works on it and then like it still doesn't drive right, and Craig T. Nelson's doing a lot of like, that guy purposely ruined my car. So then the dude takes it. But the funniest thing is, you see them, they all come out of this hole because Zelda Rubinstein is right there with Carol Ann. There's a really bad ADR where they have her say something stupid like, that place was crazy. Go back. It is something like that. I swear to you.
That is the
so
wackiest
she's right there.
place I've been in a while.
Like, you see her standing right there holding the child. It cuts in on this 2-shot of Taylor and Craig T. Nelson. They have the bit about like, oh, your car's still not happy unless I take it with me. And he drives off. And then it's this gag of like, wait a minute, how are we going to get home? And the movie ends with Craig T. Nelson running after being like, Taylor, we need the car. And like, Zelda Rubinstein is not standing there. No. She's absolutely not standing there. It's insane.
Oh no, in one last thrash of violence, Kane took my life, child.
Ooh, I got pulled back into the pool hole, y'all.
But she's in the third one, right?
She is. She's back in the third one. Yeah. I mean, I know I was reading something about like she had to leave part of the production. No, that was the third one. She had to leave in the third movie, she had to leave the production because her mother died. So I don't know why she's missing from this shot. It is the grandest of fuck-ups.
Oh, child. Like at the end while the fucking Craig T. Nelson is running after the car, the family's saying, like, she's, oh, I'm sorry, child. I had to run into the house and take a piss. After all that, I had been drinking beer and Mountain Dew and all other shit. I had to piss immediately. What happened?
They probably filmed a goodbye scene with her, and then they just thought it was repetitive to do another one with Taylor, so they just cut it.
But I mean, the end is so lame of them like running after their car, shaking their fists. It's like a bad like Benny Hill bit.
It's like a Captain Ron ending.
Yeah,
it's like this like antic fool who we've been hanging out with did one last like fool thing, and that's how we end our movie.
You're
but
right.
it's a fucking family horror movie.
Well, the thing is, we're introduced with Craig T. Nelson always being a fucking like mad ape, and we laugh at his antics, like trying to get beer home in the first movie.
Sure.
And I think it's just trying to establish that like everything's back to normal. Look at this lovable oaf getting into one of his scrapes by yelling at some dude.
Right now, like. Yeah, the biggest problem is like it's a sitcom problem now, right?
The first movie ends on a joke too, but it's a pretty good one. They go to a motel, obviously, and like the last shot is Craig T. Nelson wheeling the TV out angrily of the room and slamming the door, and they go to bed. And like that's a joke that works, and it's like kind of a fun little punchline.
Yeah. But this,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
a joke
not.
that ties into like the struggle,
Yes.
that they just went through and everything. This is just like, he's taking your car. you don't have a ride or nothing. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, you're waiting for like the big like Sam and Dave horn score to come in.
Yes, exactly.
Like, ba-da-ba-da-ba, and like, no, it was a ghost movie.
Or it should have, or Aiko is going to start playing.
Yes.
Like
Yes, that's
my grandma. and your
oh
grandma.
my God. You've pinpointed exactly, I think, what we've really been trying to encapsulate, Steve, but you're right. It ends on a joke that if Aiko started playing as the credits rolled, it would all feel totally natural.
Exactly.
Like the end of K9, right? I think that's one of the biggest Aiko endings ever, right? Man, yeah, total fucking Duke catastrophe, this movie. I mean, oof, so bad that like I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm pretty sure part 3, for all the troublesome stuff with that production and all the tragedies and everything, I think it might still be a better movie than this one. I'm not entirely sure about that, but the only returning characters are Carol Ann and Zelda Rubinstein's characters. That's it. No one else from these movies are in it. And in that way, it's like, then it's at least just a series about a haunted girl.
Right.
Like it's still kind of a different family, so it still feels like that idea you were talking about, Eric, where it's like this movie should have just been a different family altogether anyway.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if it's just the little girl, then it's sort of like you streamline it. You don't have to deal with all these other characters. So
Yep.
I could see that.
And it's transplanted to Chicago. They have an apartment in the Hancock Tower. It's a completely different feeling movie, which I think is the move. I mean, we're literally back in the same goddamn hole from the last movie in this one. But that is the movie. Would anybody recommend it? We'll start with you, Steve Sadak, big Poltergeist fan.
Actually, I don't like either of these movies. I don't. I actually, I would recommend. It's a light recommend for me on this one. I think that the vomit monster is really something to behold, and the ensuing wacky chaos, and that 20-minute stretch for me is worth it. It's a pill inside. It's the bacon inside of that surrounds the pill of this movie, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The movie's a mess, but it's a very light recommend for me.
Eric Siska.
Yeah, I do like the first movie enough. Like I'm not one of the biggest fans of it, but I would say check that out. And if you really like it, then maybe check this one out. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily at all. I didn't care for this movie. I think there's a lot of nothing surrounding not much, although the little worm guy was fun. So there you go.
Chris Cabin.
No, God, this movie sucks. I actually am a pretty big fan of the first one. I think you get a lot of the good stuff from Spielberg and a lot of good stuff from Hooper in that. But yeah, this to me is just like we had no idea of what we wanted to do for this second one, so we just took 100 ideas and threw them all at the wall. The end, like it doesn't feel like a movie to me. Like I mean what I meant at the beginning. Like to me, this is just a bunch of ideas. Let's try them, half baked, throw them together. Maybe we put Poltergeist 2 above it. Maybe it makes sense to people. Doesn't really make sense to me. First one was really good though. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that first movie is fine. Like I said, I think 3 might be better than this. I don't know. I mean, if you like that first one, continue the journey. What I would also recommend, though, is the remake is actually not half bad.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, it came out in like 2015, I think.
Sounds
I believe
right.
Sam Rockwell is the dad.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's. I remember being like, oh, okay. Like, it tries to lean in more on being like a straight up horror movie than I think even Poltergeist 1 does. But I would say that's kind of also worth your time, but really only if like any of these sequels are only worth your time if you watch that first one and you're like, yeah, I could do a little more with this. But if Poltergeist 1 doesn't grab you, don't bother. So that's it. That is Poltergeist 2 from 1986, directed by Brian Gibson. And of course, a big thank you to Gary Dean, who called this one in. The only person to request Poltergeist 2. That pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That this got through.
Good
job, Gary.
That's the odds
You
here.
know, I'm starting to think that he might be a ghost from the other side.
That makes sense.
Ooh,
Right?
yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
That professional,
you never know.
phone call, he's calling from the 50s or something.
Big thanks to him for calling this one in. And now, if you want more We Hate Movies, of course, over on Patreon, Listener Request Month is also going on. Patreon.com/We Hate Movies. We have a We Love Movies episode all up about Goodfellas.
Hey,
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
oh,
3-hour ep.
Oof. Yeah, man. And we got a 2-hour episode of Melrose 210 on the $10 feed there on the Walsh. That's a banger. We also have coming up pretty soon, I think. What day are we here? This is 360. Yeah.
This is the third week, yeah.
Sometime in the next 2 weeks, we'll be dropping the Snyder sessions on
that is right.
our $10 tier there, which is our take on the 4-hour Snyder cut.
boy.
Oh, yeah. Looking at when we're recording this right now, we got another, unfortunately, it looks like another 12 days to wait until we can see that masterpiece. But we're really excited about that, of course. And as always, on the free feed, We Hate Movies continues. Next Tuesday, there will be an all-new listener-requested episode. And Steve, what are folks making us watch next week?
Pack some rations and get some extra oxygen because we'll be going to the vertical limit.
I can't wait. I never saw it. So
I never
neither.
saw it either. I just know this one was requested a couple times as well, and I know it's a Chris O'Donnell joint.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah. Ooh. Now we're talking. So until next week with sexy Chris O'Donnell, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy, child.
That was a HeadGum podcast.